theme of isolation is also present in Gabriel Salvatore's film I'm Not Scared. The first example is that the film takes place in a rural isolated setting. Like Harry and Sive, Aqua traverses a poor secluded place cut off from the rest of the country. Forced to survive on little money, the locals decide to kidnap a child to get their large ransom. An example of this is when Michaela's father is often away and the village is populated by a handful of people. Personally, I found this example of the theme of isolation more entertaining than Sive because it was a strange place and I was interested to see why the place was so poor and what was being planned. Another example of the theme of isolation was the way the children are terrified of being isolated. With so few children around, those who live in Aqua Traverse are terrified of being isolated. As a result, the children are willing to do what school orders them to. Their isolation is like Sean Dota's and Tom Machine's because school forces the children to carry out dangerous acts like when Michele walks the beam. I thought this example of the theme of isolation was not as entertaining as the play because in my opinion Tom Machine and Sean Dota were more entertaining characters than the bully Skull. We also saw the theme of isolation in I'm Not Scared because Filippo is isolated in the hole. Filippo is kidnapped and is left to survive in a hole that Michaela discovers. Filippo, though he has died and thought he has died and sees Michaela as his guardian angel bringing food. Filippo's isolation is even worse than Sive's, as he survives on scraps of food as he barely survives underground. To my mind, this example of isolation was more entertaining than the play because it highlights how much suffering this isolation can cause. Finally, the theme of isolation is clear in the film. At the end of the film, Michele will be left isolated as many of the men in the village are arrested. As the police helicopter flies overhead, it is clear that the local men will be now going to jail. This will leave Michele and his sister isolated. Nana and Mike were left in a similar position at the end of the film. This is clear as Sergio wants to kill Filippo but stops as the police searchlight shines on him. I found this very entertaining and more uplifting as the people who are cruel and punishing are punished while in Sive, Tom Sheen and Sean Dota slightly creep off. Overall, I found that the theme of isolation made the text very entertaining. In each of these, the theme was clear and made me think deeply about what happens in the text. While I feel that the theme of isolation was more entertaining in the film, it made both texts quite entertaining.